Hey Joe, how you doing today?
Hey Tom, I'm doing fine. How are you, brother? Great to see you again.
Um, hey, always great seeing with you and talking with you. I'm doing all right. Kind of busy today. I got a few things going on, but I enjoy doing these videos. I've done. This is now going to be my seventh video, and I think they're kind of fun. So why not keep on going with it, right?
Hey, yeah, I'm game.
Right on, right on. So little intro about myself. I know you and I talked before, just for everyone else. I'm a retired Navy chief. I retired in November of 19. And January 20, I picked up a job working as an ISSO with Lockheed Martin. And I moved from Augusta, Georgia to Denver, Colorado. And this is a city I never been to or never lived in. Just showed up and tried to make things happen. A little brief info about myself. Who's Joe?
All right, Tom, awesome. So I'm Joe Boyden, currently still serving U.S. Navy, stationed up here in Newport, Rhode Island, originally from Charlestown, Massachusetts, so not too far away, as you can tell. Yes, I do have a Boston accent. I will be transitioning next July 2022. I'm married, have been 23 years,
Wow.
got two adult kids. One just graduated college last Saturday. The other one's freshman in college, and
Congrats.
that's me.
Hey, that's awesome. Right on. So you've been in the military for how many years now?
So this July will be 25 years.
Man, how'd you do
Yeah.
that?
I know, it's a long time.
At the end of my 20, I was like, you know what? I need 2, 3 months, but I'm done. No more for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You've been there. I just love doing what we do, helping sailors get to where they need to be professionally and personally. So,
it it's really awesome when you are able to help somebody else out and you see them make rank or you see them go on or you give them an idea, they take the idea and just run with it and it turns out pretty darn good. It's like, man, that was a cool idea. I'm happy he took it and run with it. So awesome, awesome. So over 25 years, I'm guessing you obtained a certification or some sort of education along the way.
yeah, well, you know how it is going on deployments and everything, but I did find time to get a bachelor's degree.
Nice.
I just completed my certified manager's certification, so I have that as well, and
What's the letter
continuing
acronym for that?
CM,
CM. Okay. I've seen
CM.
that before, but I didn't know what it meant. So, okay.
Yes, and I'm going to continue going through Navy Cool to certification. So those
Nice.
out there if you haven't used your services, cool, I highly recommend you do it. Um, so just for more education, not just to get a title or anything, but just to have knowledge in different areas. So
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
So, 25 years. So, what was your job or what did your job start out as in the Navy and what has it progressed or turned into now?
So I came in as undesignated fireman, so engineering type, and so I have an engineering background, working on various engineering systems, hydraulics, air conditioning, refrigeration, diesel engines. Progressed where I am now, senior chief engineman in the Navy. Currently, right now, I'm a facilitator up here in Newport, Rhode Island, teaching and enhancing leadership skills to senior leaders in all services of the armed forces.
When you say senior leaders, what pay grade are we talking about here?
So senior enlisted E7s to E9s.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Right on. And this is for all joint services or just Navy can go there?
No, it's joint services. So
Okay.
Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force, and we have international students
Oh,
as well
wow.
from international services. Yes.
That's kind of cool. Do you teach a
Yeah.
subject or you are just an administrator for like administrative paperwork kind of thing, or you actually teach a subject or something?
So actually, no, we teach several topics just to
Okay.
enhance their leadership capabilities, not to change them, but just to give them other tools for their toolbox that they can take away that they may not have known that was there.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Right on. So after Navy, Do you plan to keep doing that, or are you trying to pivot to something else, or some new cool job field, or what's your idea for your next job?
So my passion is leading and working on teams, right? Seeing them grow, seeing other people grow.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people say I lead people. Well, I like to look at myself as bringing leaders out in people. So if I continue to do that and bring the best out of others for a company, so we can work on the innovation and get the company where they need to go, I would love to do that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And you started to inspire me a little bit. Awesome. So obviously you lived in probably 5, 6, 7 different houses and locations over your 25 years in Navy.
Mhm.
Now that you can make your own decision where you want to go, where do you want to go?
Well, like I said, I'm originally from Boston, Mass, so my entire family is still here. I'm currently up here in Rhode Island, so if I could stay in New England, that would be ideal.
Okay.
Preferably New Hampshire. I really like New Hampshire. If those of you haven't been there, it's a great state. But like anything, being in the Navy, like you said, I've lived in several different places. I started off in San Diego, went to Virginia, came up here, and then I did a year out in Bahrain. So
Okay.
moving around is nothing really to me. But if I had to relocate, I'm willing to do that.
Nice. Yeah. The only thing I know about up there is Vermont. And that's because Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I don't remember when we first met, maybe 5, 6 months. I don't remember when we first met. Do you remember when we first met or how a conversation may have went?
Yeah, actually, I was looking through our messages.
Okay. I
Like
haven't
went to
done
the
that one.
first, yeah, I went to the first messages in LinkedIn. It was back in March of this year.
Okay.
I saw you post about Veterati, and what you were talking about, it really stuck out to me. So I hit you up. I sent you a message later on that night. You sent me a reply and say, "Hey, you available right now?" 5 minutes later, we were on Zoom doing this, and you were direct, which is great. Um, but you also cared personally about me and seeing where I was in my transition and how you could help me. So that really
Awesome.
meant a lot to me. And I'm glad that we got together and we're doing this right now.
So the conversation was about 5 minutes long.
Actually, no, our Zoom call lasted because you're Mountain Time and I'm East Coast.
It
So
went
I
pretty
got
late.
on,
I think it went pretty late for
yeah, it was 11 o'clock my time and it went for an hour and a half.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
it
guess I
was
talked. I guess I talked a little too much.
no, but it was great. It was great. You know, you and I had, kind of the same deal. We, both in the Chiefs mess, so we had a lot to talk about.
Right. So I guess from that conversation, what type of ideas or tips or suggestions or did I tell you to do that you they may remember?
One thing that stuck out to me was don't procrastinate. Get out there. No one's going to do it for you. Um, you can just go out there and ask for connections, this and that, but you have to do the legwork. It's not going to come to you. Own your transition. That stuck out to me. You told me, own your transition. There's people out there that will assist you because they've been through it, but ultimately it's up to you to do what you want.
And I still think that's very true today. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I still have a year left, and I'm still, reaching out and doing things, and it's helped tremendously.
right on, right on. So who are some resources you went with, or any type of online webinars, or you still in regular chat with right now on LinkedIn, or who? So I guess what type? I guess let's rephrase that a little bit. What type of resources or people have helped you out that you like to call out and name or say a little story about them?
Yeah, so getting on there and doing virtual networking events. I
Such
did it with
as,
Key Organization and Hire Heroes USA. Been doing
okay,
that, and definitely have to give a shout out to Candy Tillman and her organization, 50 Strong.
she's
Think I've
amazing.
done 11
Amazing.
sessions with her and them
Wow.
so far. So I really enjoy those. And then I've done virtual job fairs that they've been hosted through, and I've reached out to different companies and just made connections, reached out, and they said, "Hey, do this." I actually reached out to one company and they said, "Hey, just go to our website, fill this out and upload your resume." Well, I was thinking nothing of it, uploaded it. 2 months later, they gave me a call like, "Hey, we want to give you an interview for SkillBridge."
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, it's been great. It's a lot, but it's better to have a lot of options and not have any.
I mean,
So
still
that's where I'm at right
a
now,
little bit more
continuing
than a
doing
year
this.
out, and you're already getting people contacting you. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
and then from our conversation, I remember the first thing because you looked at my profile, I'm like, why do you only have 147 connections? And then you gave me that 500 connection challenge, and right now I'm almost at 700. So,
Nice. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So, yeah, and doing these events, reaching out to people because knowing people and stories and experiences, we're so diverse and not everyone's on the same page or has the same background. So just talking to people and people willing to give you that time, it's so precious. I can't pass up someone's time.
So I'm guessing you have like a huge notebook set up with names and dates when you talk to somebody and something like that are going on, or I mean, how do you remember everybody you talked to, or conversation, or what you talked about with them? You have some, or you just intellectually just, bam, you're with it.
I mean, I got that too, but I do take down names and say, I mean, I'm not gonna pat myself on the back and say, hey, this and that, but I do like when it really sits in, I'll take down their name so I can continue with the conversation. And everyone's great on LinkedIn too. I meet them like, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. It's phenomenal. If
Nice.
they've been through, you know, you suggested reach out to Tyrone Hewitt. I reached out to him immediately. He was like, hey, here's my number. Give me a call.
Tyrone
I
is
mean,
legit. He's an awesome
wealth
dude.
of knowledge, especially when it comes to the Veterans Affairs stuff
Yes.
aspect of it.
Yes.
And that's my next step. 6 months. They're telling me 6 months, and I've already gone and got my medical records and stuff like
Oh,
that. So
good.
yeah,
Good. Yeah. I forgot when I first got to know Tyrone, but so I guess speaking about him a little bit, so he's helped me out a lot too, actually. So I was running into a snag with trying to learn how to use post 9/11 to sign up for college. And I was like, man, I was getting frustrated. I was getting upset, trying to go through the phone tree of how to call someone and get a hold of someone and talk to someone. And it was just really making me upset. So I sent him a message and then gave him a call. I said, hey, man, then we can hold my hand and teach me how to do this because for some reason, I'm just not doing it correct. It's making me upset and it shouldn't be this difficult. Can I put you in on a 3-way call or something, or call you and then add a call and call them? You tell me what number to press on the phone tree or something. And I mean, can you do something like that? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, sure, bro. Let's do it right now, man. I'm like, sweet, let's do it. All right, cool, let's do it. Give him a call. He's like, hey, man, press this one. All right. Hey, press this one. All right. Now press this. All right, cool. All right. Now you're good, man. I'm gonna hang up. I'm like, man, that was magic. I love that. That was awesome.
yeah, yeah. Great guy, great guy.
Awesome. Right on. So obviously not obviously, but from 3 months ago to right now, is there any struggles you're dealing with right now, or trying to understand something, or trying to figure some things out, or any stress you have going on right now? Or you don't have to talk about this stress specifically, but I mean, transition is transition. If it
Yeah,
was easy, everybody would, nobody be asking questions, right?
yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Especially now everything's starting to ease up with the pandemic and all that. But I'm the type of person I like to have something in place. I don't like waiting till the last minute and this whole transition. So me trying to figure out like, what do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean I can only wait till I'm 3 months out to start talking to companies about jobs? And so that right there is it's new to me. So I'm trying to get used to that. But again, like you said, reaching out to those on LinkedIn and networking and going to events and just putting yourself out there. I've actually seen people come to me,
Oh wow.
just for my information. I put my information out there and they're calling me this and that. Hey, what are you looking for? What do you want to do? And getting advice, getting tips. It's great. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I'm all for it. Bring it on. The more the merrier. I love it.
I, I can see it being overwhelming, especially if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of connections or someone who's not very active on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say, for example, you talk with someone, then they share your profile. The next thing you know, you have like 150 brand new connections coming in live over the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine you're probably going to get at least 40 or 50 IMs, people reaching out to you. Hey, let me know you got this. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how can I help you? And so, yeah, I can imagine it could get very overwhelming and very busy. And yeah, I think,
Well, and it's being in the positions that you and I are in, have been in. We're expected to know everything because when our sailors come to us, that whole phrase, "ask the chief,"
right. Those who
it's
know
and
the
that
answer. Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly. And then when it comes to us, I think some people get in their mindset, well, I should know this. I should, well, no. That I've been doing this Navy for almost 26 years. I don't know what's out there. I've had a couple jobs before I came in, never had to do a resume. Oh, talk about resume. Yeah, don't get me started on that. And then never
Why,
had to
what's
do
up?
it.
Why, what's up?
No, they're like, hey, you gotta do a resume. I'm like, okay, I've only heard the term resume. I never actually had to do one. So, but like I said, I reached out to Hire Heroes USA,
Okay.
transition specialist. I, sent my VMet and anything else, evals and all that, and they put together a nice resume for me.
Oh,
Now
nice.
I'm just fine tuning it here and there and sending it out. And people, I actually put it on LinkedIn one time and just asked for feedback, whether positive and negative, because I mean that's the only way I learn, right? That's the only way people learn is to
Feedback is
ask.
still feedback, whether it's positive or
Right.
negative, it's still feedback.
Absolutely. And it just only makes me better. The only thing is everyone has, throws in their 2 cents. So no, not like this, like that. So it's kind of trying to find that perfect niche, which I know there's no such thing as a perfect resume, but
Yeah.
I have one. Now it's just tailoring it to,
Yep.
and a lot of people I send it out and they're like, well, it's not really specific. Well, I'm not really looking for a job, so I haven't really looked for a job
Uh-huh.
application or for a specific job. So I haven't tailored it to that. It's just a generic resume. But I think it's
Gotcha.
pretty good.
So it's kind of like a military eval. You give it to 10 people, you get 10 different responses. How you supposed to write it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right on. Um, wow. So we went through a lot of questions here. All right. I asked you a lot of questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So how was your transition?
So I look at it from a couple different aspects. Okay. Um, from a financial aspect, it went well. I financially prepared for this one. From a how to interview, a whole bunch of trial and probably a lot of errors, and you just kind of perfect your little way of how to do things and how to say things. And whoops, crap, I shouldn't have said that one. Oh man, damn it, that sounds like you gotta you know how to flow with some things. Um, I talked about another video, but I mean, I retired, so I did skill bridge. That wasn't the best situation for me. It was an opportunity.
Hmm.
It was an experience. No kidding. Was it the best one? No. A lot of other people had better experiences than I had,
Okay.
which is kind of I guess, my motivation. Want to have people try to do it, have people try to get into it, have people learn more about it, kind of thing, so they don't have the same situation or problems that I had. If I'm able to help them out at all.
Nice.
Um, but I think it was kind of stressful from I moved out to Colorado and I never been here before. I just showed up for work one day, basically, and I didn't know anybody here. I didn't know the town at all. I didn't know where things are. And I get here in the middle of winter, right there in January.
Mm.
And yeah, you try to get around a little bit, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, a few months later, this thing called COVID happened. And then I'm flying back and forth. So I flew back to Georgia 3 times over the course of 4 months to go back to see my wife and kids because I kept my wife and kids there
Mhm.
until the kids had finished school. And then we all moved out here. And I did 3 drives back too Colorado. Actually, no, I did 2 drives back to Colorado. I drove back here twice with stuff, but 3 total flights. So, um, I mean, I think it went well. I think there's some terminology I didn't know, some things I didn't quite realize. For example, if you probably a lot of recruiters probably get mad at me right now, but it's okay. Um, so I mean, if you get a job offer, you can say yes to it. You get another job offer, you can say yes to that one too. You're not actually employed until that first day you actually start work. Until then, it's still an idea,
Mhm.
you know? So, I mean, can you say yes to 5 odd job offers? Yeah. Can you take one and move again 3 months later and quit that job, go to the next one? You can. You move around as much as you want. You're always a free agent. So make sure you do the proper courtesy, turn in 2-3 week notice to try to share with somebody else. So, but yeah. So I mean, overall, I think it went pretty well. And
Awesome.
as I was doing it, and after I got done with it, I turned around, got on LinkedIn, and I got really active with it, and I still am pretty active. So
Yeah, no, you're very active. Wow, that's awesome. So you did what we do. You adapted and you overcome, right?
you
So
have to.
wow,
That's the only thing
yeah,
to do.
absolutely.
You don't
So
really
with
have.
that being so with that being said, how did you get into where you're at now? You know, what made you decide to get on LinkedIn and to start reaching out to veterans or transitioning service members like you are right
So,
now?
so I can just share information that I went through, share things that I did,
Hmm.
and things that I think other people can do a little bit better or something. Or at the end of the day, it's all free advice.
Hmm.
I'm not a something coach or whatever, or it's not a paid job for me. It's just my volunteer time. So but during my transition, I had a few people reach out to me and say, "Hey, look, you should do this, this, this." But I don't remember how many people reached out to me during my transition of 4 months out, 5 months out, 6 months out. I just don't remember. I'm sure I know some people did. I can't remember any names off the top of my head. Not a lot of names of people who actually stuck with me and like every 3-4 weeks followed up and hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, you already do this? Hey, did you already check this out or something like that? I didn't have much of that, or at least if I did, then I got a bad memory, which probably could be the case too. So, but,
Yeah, that's cool. So with you doing all this and all the transition service members you've helped, what's the highest or the number one piece of advice you'd give to them?
just plan it out, right? Write everything down as a roadmap because things will come up unexpectedly. Like 2 months out, you may need to go use your DD-214 sign.
Hmm.
Oh, you got to make a correction on your DD-214, and now you have 6 weeks left, or you got 1 month left. So I think just writing out, hey, look, I'm right here. This is my end date right here. Draw a little line and just try to make note of all the stuff you see on LinkedIn, or you see a post with some really good info being pushed out. Like, that's awesome. So I go over hit the little 3 dots. I save this post. Some will save a lot of posts now. And I utilize that to, or at the time I utilized that to go ahead and like someone say, hey man, we're 6 months out, make sure you do this, this, this. I'm like, that sounds like some pretty good sage advice. Let me make some notes here. Let me save that post so I can go back to it later. I think the best teachers in transition are those who've already done it. Those who wish I would have known blah 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 6 months ago, but now I don't. Now I learned it now, but I wish I would have known it then, so I know how to do things better. Um, I think something else that went really well with my transition is my VA. I worked with a really, really awesome VSO. Her name was Angie, and she was amazing. She helped me out. She looked through my medical records. We got to know each other. Funny story. She actually bought my daughter's bicycle because she's really short. So she bought my daughter's bicycle from me. I'm like, it's a kid's bike, right? And she loved that bike. So she rode my daughter's bike. It's from Japan, so it's pretty cool. Had a little basket on it, a little bell on it, had a light on it. I guess your standard looking kid's Japanese bike kind of thing. And so she told, hey, give me a copy of medical records. I'm like, I don't retire for like another year and a half. I don't care. I said, get me a copy of them. Okay. So I got her a copy of them. She went through this, she took her time, went through them. Hey, by the way, this you got going on. Go back, get seen for this. Make sure you talk about this, get seen for this. Give me another copy of medical records 1 year out. All right, sounds good. So she helped me follow up with me, kind of thing. Um, and that helped out a lot because I think when you're in your last 6 months, last 6 to 8 months, I think that's when things really start to hit the fan. And you have 800 different opportunities going on all at once, but you don't know what opportunities are available. And all of a sudden, you're talking to somebody or you go to a transition class and, oh, by the way, we have the MSA program going on, or we have this program going on, or the state has these certification tests going on you can go take and sign up. You got to plan all that stuff out. You have to know about it. You can't just all of a sudden one day, yeah, I think I'm going to go. No, you can go talk to your leadership, go talk to your chain, make sure you have opportunity and time to go to these things. So from that aspect, I think you always got to make sure you block off a lot of time and don't schedule a lot of things so you can allow for things to pop up into your calendar. So I guess that's just a little advice, I guess.
Okay.
So
So if you could do it all over again, would you change anything in your transition that you went through?
I probably would, but I don't remember what. I think it's good to make mistakes because then you learn from them at mental notes called, damn, that was dumb. I probably shouldn't do that one again. Crap. Why? Oh man. But sometimes you need those moments. I know they're never fun at all. But sometimes you need those moments in life to put you back in reality and think, man, that was pretty dumb. Or wow, that's really smart. Wow, I'm glad I did that one. That was really good right there. Kind of thing. So would I go ahead and change anything? I just learn how to be more active on LinkedIn. Learn how to make more quality connections on LinkedIn. And learn how to not have a, hey, look at me, I'm achieving the Navy profile picture. Because some people like to put their military profile picture on LinkedIn, and me, I'm the kind of guy who, when I see someone like that, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? Does that sound kind of familiar?
Yep.
So
Yeah, it does. And I think to understand it, it's great that you put that on there, but okay, well, you're transitioning, so you don't want to go back. You're not going to go back into the service. So why are you going to have a picture that you're still in your uniform?
right.
You know? So
I think it's probably one of my biggest things. I'm probably pretty blunt with a lot of people on LinkedIn. And sometimes they're okay with that. And sometimes I probably make some people upset. Okay. But I don't want them to say no one ever told them. I don't want them to say, yeah, well, I didn't know. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I think I told you like 6 months ago, but you chose not to update your stuff. I mean, it's
yeah.
cool. I still see your picture. I still see your posts. But the way I look at it, you have a profile picture in the military uniform. That's more of like a Facebook thing. It's not a LinkedIn thing.
Mm-mm.
But at the same time, I don't think you need to go out and pay a photographer X amount of dollars to go take a professional portrait of you either. I mean, I'm kind of weird, but all my pictures on LinkedIn have been taken with my iPhone 7 by my wife or by myself. Just taking a little selfie picture of myself. Actually, my current picture right now, I think it's from around September of 19. My wife took it of me and it was at my house in Georgia right before I left to go do something. I was wearing a suit or something.
Mhm.
That's the extent of the quality of picture that I take.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, no, going back to the whole thing about, you're direct, you're blunt, but you need to be, especially transition. I mean, I don't have all even now, I know I don't have all the answers. That's one thing I take away from being in the Navy so long is humility, right? I don't have all the answers. That's why I love working with teams and getting all the ideas and have everyone have a voice and, to participate and all that. But being direct it needs to be done. It needs to be done most times. But you also care about that person, like
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier. You care about them. That's why you're doing what you're doing. That's why you're on here with me right now. That's why you do Veterati and you reach out to service members. What can I do for you? So
Actually, you just stole my last question.
sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. So, is there anything I can do for you, over your next year of transition to help you out, or in any way?
Just continue doing what you're doing for me, man. I mean, seriously, it still feels like you're still in, and you'll always be in the Chiefs mess, right? That's what
Yeah,
we have that connection.
yeah,
But for me, just continue doing what you do for those that are
thanks.
transition. May not be in the same, you know, mindset that we are, not have as much experience and all that, right? And just continue doing what you're doing, and yeah, that's all I ask for. And if you do know, because looking around New England, like when you look at different programs, um, like for skill bridge, there's not very many in New England.
Okay,
So I'm trying to find other connections in New England. So if you do have some of your connections that are in like the greater New
I do have a
England,
connection
Boston
over there,
area,
actually.
okay, yeah.
And
So
now that I
I
think
mean,
about it, yes. I think his name is Jim Thayer. He's over. I think he's over in New England area. So
okay,
remember I told him I really like Dropkick Murphy. He's like, yeah, I can go find him for you, man.
yeah, yeah, drop kick, yep, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's it. You're doing great. Maybe someday I can get on there and do the same thing. If I can get out of the service and continue to help service members, that would be awesome. I mean, I know it doesn't have to be a job per se and get paid for. I can do exactly what you're doing on that time, and it's just something I'm gonna have to look into.
I I think you do well. Just keep on making all your notes of things that you done, things that didn't work out well for you,
Yeah.
and start to put that stuff, like, I won't say journaling, but put that stuff like in a notebook somewhere or a notepad somewhere for your own little mental notes you've made. And
Hmm.
I think your own personal mistakes are the best way to learn and teach others, just by
I'll
what you did yourself, kind of thing. So
I'll be honest. I am glad I started this process early, as I did. I started 22 months out. You know, so if I would, that's one thing definitely I would give advice to start as early. If you know you made that decision, start early. Start reaching out. Start doing like you do. You tell everybody. Start early. Start making those connections.
awesome. Well, hey, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm sure people don't want to sit here and watch us talk for 45 minutes or something like that. So,
Yeah, but hey, Tom, I appreciate it, man. I had a great time today.
I had a fabulous time as well. And it's always great talking with you, Joe.
Yeah, you too, Tom. Have a good day. Have a good
Hey, you
weekend.
too. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.